And we are back with the very first episode of the Boondocks series recap on video. It's your boy Mr. aka Super357, best known as Prince Godbody. And if you haven't watched the main pod before, or listened to it, or any of the Boondocks series, finally you're getting to see.
It's the bro, man. We here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we're back. We kind of fell off after the presidential election because we had picked up another side pod during that period. But we had finally ran out of pre-recorded episodes of the Boondock series recap. So we said, hey, fuck it. Why don't we pick it back up? And why don't we bring it to video this time? Everything else is on video on the podcast at this point.
Exactly.
Hey, yeah, so why don't we bring this
It's
one?
the Boondocks. Who doesn't like the Boondocks?
Yeah, it's a fucking American classic. Not only is it a black classic, it's an American classic.
Yeah.
And the episode we'll be talking about today will be Season 3, Episode 3, The Red Ball. And do you want to give the premise of the episode, or do you want me to do it?
All right, so basically the whole premise behind the episode is it's two kickball teams. It's one from Woodcrest, and then it is the Chinese team, and they're competing in this kickball tournament. The pretty much throughout the whole episode, it's just little nuggets of symbolism to draw comparisons to the American government and the Chinese government, and the differences between them.
So, with this kickball tournament, Ed Wuncler, not Ed Wuncler III, Ed Wuncler, the older one, has set up a gambling arrangement where essentially he'll lose all his shit, which is all that, everything he owns, which includes the houses of everybody in Woodcrest, against everything that the guy in China owns. And like you said, it kind of mirrors the symbolism with the American government, because when the American government is on its last legs and, it needs some help, it relies on the people. It relies on the people to bring it back up. And that's exactly what Ed Wuncler is doing here.
Yeah.
And not only is he doing that, he's using the threat of their livelihood to kind of reinforce that. Because the whole kind of tagline for this one is that when the rich suffer, the poor suffer more.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes for the most part.
Because even in the B plot of Huey coming back, because the B plot to the episode is Huey coming back to play kickball after being a kickball legend, and you see that he used that fear before with Huey, because he says at one point he was the reason that Huey didn't want to play no more, because he made up the lie about the girl getting crippled or what have you.
Yeah.
Which is fucked up. Ed Wuncler not only owns everything that this family, possesses essentially, but he also has been making their lives a living hell for as long as
Ed Wuncler
friendly.
So yeah, Ed Wuncler is definitely one of the more hilarious characters in Boondocks.
Yeah,
it's a bunch of them, but he just kind of is just the typical bigot. He pretty much represents everything that's wrong with corporate America.
American greed.
Basically. Yeah, he's pretty much the example of that. And, it was only right that he be the kind of like one of the, I think this may be the only few episodes where he's actually the main guy.
Yeah, it's the only one.
Where he's a main, I guess, protagonist.
They are, yeah.
Maybe
yeah,
not
exactly.
the main guy, but one of the main
characters. Yeah, that is true, because even when because the garden party is the only...
You couldn't have done this episode really without Ed Wuncler.
You need the view of corporate. You need somebody to have everybody. So Tom, Ed Wuncler III, the Freemans, everybody's fucking playing for this team. They go and get the guy who pretends he's from Tibet, the ringer for the team. Everybody has to play for this team, because Wuncler's livelihood is also their livelihood.
Yeah.
Tom's a lawyer.
Yeah.
Tom, you know what I'm saying? Like, look at it that way. Tom is a lawyer, and he still has to go through all this to even have a chance at saving his house. Even though he probably has enough money to pay the mortgage on it, the fact that at the end of the day, Ed Wuncler, the most arrogant prick, owns everything.
Yeah.
But the funnier parts of this are, honestly, not even the subtle racism. The overt racism in this episode is hilarious.
Oh yeah, with pretty much everyone took their shots for the most
For,
part.
for on everybody, yeah.
This episode was made to get people uncomfortable.
Yeah, it really was. Because
And it is crazy, and I think that's kind of like the genius behind the episode. If they just took this in a vacuum and the kickball element wasn't there, it would have made you view the episode in a different way.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's a lot more because of the kickball game. It kind of made it more
lighthearted
to be able to accept what they're trying to explain to you instead of just getting caught up in,
what it actually is.
Exactly.
Because like you said, it's really a thing about the American Chinese government going against each other and using their citizens to kind of, fight, or just foreign politics, or big leaders. It might not even just be American Chinese government.
Yeah.
But that's really exemplified when the little girl says, if we fucking lose, we're going to have to go back to the sweatshops and do all this, blah, blah, and third.
Yeah.
They're, fucking with Huey behind his back, like, talking in Chinese, saying, this dumb asshole, dummy, blah, 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 we got him. He recognizes what happens, and he just goes on a fucking rampage against them. You know what I'm saying? Like, they managed to, like, put a kickball game and then put something on the line in that kickball game that makes it kind of emotional in the show. So you've got, like, I feel bad for this girl.
Yeah.
But it also is analogous to real life. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is how political games are played. You know what I'm saying? Right. You go, it's amazing. You know what I'm saying? The Boondocks, even in this third season, because I'm not necessarily, the third season is where I definitely fall off from my thorough enjoyment of it.
Overall, the third season was not necessarily my favorite, but I think of all the episodes in the third season, this is one of the ones that does stick out to me.
Yeah.
Because just for the reason that I explained previously, it's just genius that the fact that they put that together centered around a kickball game and were able to get their point across what they were trying to explain. And it was a lot to take. It was a lot of nuggets. In this,
yeah.
I would definitely recommend this episode to anybody, honestly.
As far as season 3 goes, definitely recommend this one for season 3.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, because we need to talk through I need to talk through the rest of the episode. So eventually, after the commotion where Huey exposes or reverse exposes them for the Chinese speaking, they finally win the game. You know what I'm saying? And so Ed Wuncler is still on top of the fucking world. You know what I'm saying? Throughout all of this, Ed Wuncler is never really sweating.
Yeah.
No matter how hard these players are playing, how bad it gets for them, the boss is never sweating.
No, he's cool.
Because he knows at the end of the day, he's going to be. This is always a friendly competition.
What did they say? One of the first line. You lose 20 billion. You lose 20 billion. They kill you. You lose 20 billion here. They give you another 20 billion.
Yup. And that's fucking true. Yeah. This is all a game to him. And through, this is all a game to Ed Wuncler. This was just a friendly gambling competition with someone that's in his tax bracket. Yeah. That's literally all this was to him. And that just happens to us so much now. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter how much the government is succeeding or failing, they're really going to take advantage of us and use us till we're decrepit. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the episode, you got everybody in the dugout halfway dead. You know, some people, Riley says, at least we ain't go out like no bitches. You know what I'm saying? They're literally halfway dead. And Ed Wuncler is literally having a cordial conversation with the Chinese executive.
Yeah.
It's like Democrats and Republicans. You know, they got us even more so. Let's bring it to a little smaller level. Fucking in America, you got people that are extreme left and extreme right when it's just that's like being an extreme Aaron fan and an extreme Mr. fan. Y'all might have diehard sides and hate each other, taking, one of our sides, but at the end of the day, we're gonna be smoking a blunt, recording another podcast.
All the time.
You know, that's literally what it is, bro. You put the veil in front of their eyes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What do you rate this episode? 1 out of 10.
I'll give it a 8.
An 8?
Because I'm not gonna say it's perfect.
I'll still give it a 6 or a 7.
Because damn, that's kind of low.
Because the eights in the because there's a lot of, I would want to call 10s in the Boondocks. The 8s in the Boondocks are like Killer Kung Fu Wolf Bitch is an 8. No, Killer Kung Fu Wolf Bitch is a 10. With Tichina Arnold playing the best friend on the other side of the phone, Killer Kung Fu Wolf Bitch is a top 10.
She killed that.
Yeah.
Oh my
God. What is it?
I still say it's an 8 only because of like
the message.
The message and the fact that it was just well put together. The episode was just well put together.
Everything besides the latter part of this season and the 4th season is well put together for the most part. There are a few shoddy episodes in the first 2 seasons, but not really. Yeah. But maybe that's just nostalgia for me too.
Yeah. Because and this is actually one of the fewer episodes that wasn't necessarily just aiming to have you in tears the whole episode. This one wasn't a ha ha from beginning to end thing. Yeah. Like some things are kind of funny if you're into dry humor, but in general, there were only like a few moments like when Ruckus came on. That was a kind of comedic relief.
Yeah, that's what I meant when I meant like the racial shit. That is the Ruckus. Somebody needs to do a case study on Uncle Ruckus and how Uncle Ruckus is Uncle Tom, but it's not because Uncle Tom is also not Uncle Tom. The character is also not what we label people as. Uncle Ruckus is a character that's going to go down in like history. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If studied correctly.
Yeah.
If studied correctly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In such a brilliant arena like the Boondocks, Ruckus is probably the best character in that show. Because Huey's what every black person thinks. You know, like everybody else is so stereotypical. Ruckus isn't. Because Ruckus is still written by black people.
True.
That's the thing. Being written, voiced, like acted, it's all by black people. So there is some white people, close your ears. There's some truth to some of the shit Ruckus says, if that's the case. All right, white people, y'all can listen again. You know what I'm saying, though?
Yeah, I feel you. I hear you, man.
That's all I'm saying. Shit, man, I can't wait to do another episode. This feels good, bruh.
Yeah, it does.
Feels good to be back doing the Boom. Just give somebody, the people, something quick to listen to on the way to work in the morning, something quick to watch, you know what I'm saying, on YouTube.
Hell yeah.
Something quick for y'all, just to break down an episode of the Boondocks. Hopefully to get you watching the Boondocks again and maybe go back into it. Like we always said, it's our favorite cartoon anime. It's my favorite anime of all time. Man. Fucking Naruto. Huey hit a Rasengan in this fucking episode, so it doesn't even matter. You know what I'm saying? He had to go crazy, so it don't even matter.
Yeah, Boondocks is a good show.
Yeah.
You haven't seen Boondocks by now. Like, man, I don't know. What are you doing?
Nothing with your
Where
life.
have you been?
Nothing
it's not even what are you doing.
Life.
Where have you been?
Nothing with your life.
Like, this is the one of the most genius shows like
all time
ever put on TV.
Yeah, it's brilliantly crafted. Is the best way to put it.
We made a whole podcast about it, so you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, we must love it a little bit.
There's some truth to what we're telling you.
Exactly. Well, you got anything else on this one this week, my man?
Nah, man, I'm chill.
All right, well, this has been your boy, Mr. A.K.A. Super Raw 357, best known as Prince Godbody, joined by
King Bro Man, and your boy, you know it.
You know what I'm saying? Just make sure you tune into this episode, or every other episode that comes out after this other Boondocks series recap. Make sure you check out our other podcasts like The Interview, Permanent Record, and The Podcast for your latest news on current events, music, and just local to us. We are in Richmond, Virginia area. Local to us, artists, creatives, businesses, etc. I really don't have much for y'all. I'm going to have to say peace.